We're going to talk about how to multiply and divide numbers that have exponents, and if they have the same base, we're going to show you how to do a shortcut. So if you have two numbers, let's say 2 to the third or 2 cubed times 2 to the fourth. Remember, if you have two things written in parentheses, that means multiplication. So you're multiplying these two numbers, 2 to the third times 2 to the fourth. So if you watched the part 1 video of exponents, you know how to do 2 to the third equals 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 8. 2 to the fourth equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 16. So 2 to the third is 8, 2 to the fourth is 16, so it's 8 times 16, which is 128. So that's the answer to this problem. But let me show you a shortcut on how to get there instead of multiplying all these out. If you have numbers that have the same base, and remember that the base is the big number. So here's a 2 and that's a 2, so they do have the same base. If you're multiplying numbers with the same base that have exponents, to get the answer, all you need to do is add the exponents. So 3 plus 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So that is going to be the exponent on your base number, 2 to the 7th. So the answer to this in exponent form is 2 to the 7th. The way we got that is you keep the same base, so just 2, so you just copy the base down, and then you add the exponents, 3 plus 4, 7. So if you plug 2 to the 7th into your calculator, you'll see you'll get 128. So again, the base has to be the same. You can't do that if you had, let's say, 3 to the 5th and 4 to the 9th. You can't do this shortcut route. Only if they are the same base. So let's say you had 3 to the 5th times 3 to the 9th. Well, you just write down the base, 3, and then you add the exponents, 5 plus 9. So it's 3 to the 14th. That is the answer. And you can plug 3 to the 14th into your calculator and get the actual number if that's what's needed for the problem. So again, remember the shortcut. If they have the same base, all you do, write down the base, add the exponents, and that's the answer if you're multiplying. So now I'm going to show you if you're dividing. If you're dividing, it's different. So remember, if you're multiplying, you add. But if you're going to divide, let's say we had 2 to the 5th divided by 2 squared. So again, you have to have the same base. So here's a 2. But here, instead of adding, you're going to subtract. This divided by whatever is 5 minus 2. So again, in the answer, you keep the same base, 2, but now you're doing 5 minus 2, which is 3. And so you put a 3 on there. And you know what 2 to the 3 is? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So the answer of 2 to the 5th divided by 2 squared is 8. You're most often going to see this written, though, in fractional form. So let's say you had 6 to the 10th divided by 6 to the 4th. So remember, fractions are just divisions. You can read this 6 to the 10th divided by 6 to the 4th. So since they have the same base of 6, you just write that down, and then you do a subtraction. And it's always top minus bottom. So 10 minus 4 is 6. So your exponent is 6. So 6 to the 10th divided by 6 to the 4th is just 6 to the 6th. So remember, when you're multiplying, you're adding the exponents. When you're dividing, you're subtracting them. 11 to the 9th over 11 to the 4th. You write down the base, 11. 9 minus 4. 11 to the 5th. That's your answer. I'm going to show you one more thing that you might encounter. They might have a number with an exponent raised to another power. So let's say we have 2 cubed squared, and it will be written in parentheses, and then there'll be another exponent outside of that. So what this really means is you're taking 2 cubed and you're squaring it, which means, just like any other square, 2 cubed times 2 cubed. So we just know, so now we just learned how to do this. They both have the same base, 2, and we're going to add the exponents, 3 plus 3. Do not multiply the exponents. That's how they're going to get you. So you need to remember, when you have a multiplication, you are adding the exponents, not multiplying them. So 3 plus 3 is 6. So here's a shortcut way, though, to get to that answer. If you see something like this, where you have a number with an exponent raised to another power, you just multiply these two numbers. So 2 to the 3rd squared, you multiply the two exponents. 3 times 2 is 6, so your answer is 2 to the 6th. That's what we got when we did it kind of the longer route as well. So let's say we have 13 to the 4th raised to the 5th power. You just write down the base, multiply 4 times 5. So the answer here is 13 to the 20th power. If we had 8 cubed raised to the 9th power, you just write down the base, 8. 3 times 9 is 27. So the answer is 8 to the 27th. So remember, when you have a straight multiplication in which the base, again, they have to be the same, then you add the powers. If you're dividing, you subtract the powers. If you're doing this where you have an exponent that's raised to a power, you just multiply those two numbers together.